Hello everybody, today I'm making a quick video on these two Hoover Enigmas. One's a Hoover Enigma Pets and one's a Hoover Enigma Evo. And the Enigma Evo has just fallen down because of its extremely bad foot release, as all the collectors will know about. I just wanted to do the video. You can't get the pet version anymore, but I just wanted to do a comparison quickly. There it goes again. Anyway, the Enigma Evo that I've just bought isn't my machine. Well, it is at the minute. I bought it, I paid for it, I've sent the guarantee away for it, and I will use the machine and maintain it. But it's not going to be living at my house. It's going to be living at a neighbour's house who is 93 and can't do the vacuuming anymore. And she's got a cordless G-Tech air ram that's rubbish. So I said, you need a new vacuum. If you get me a new one, I'll do it. And she said, fine. So I chose this because it was the only bagged upright under £100. I didn't really have much to choose from. So I got this anyway. And this is for the people, right, that say motor wattage doesn't affect suction. You're wrong, it does. Now, I know it's not all down to the wattage, but I think a lot of it is, and I know people say, oh, it doesn't matter, 1000 watts, 2000 watts, 500 watts, it'll still have the same suction. Well, I don't agree. And although the design of the machine can have some contributing factors, I do think motor wattage has the same, I do think motor wattage has an impact, as I'm demonstrating for you today. But before I do, I can't really use that machine, so I'm just going to put my hand over the hose because it's not mine. I can't really vacuum my house with it. But anyway, what was this? Oh yeah, this was the thing I wanted to say before I switch them on. I think Hoover have learnt from the mistakes now, because that Enigma is scratched to death, the pet version, because it's been spray painted. The plastic isn't the colour it's been painted. It's been sprayed matte black and silver. And that's how they all were leaving the factory. Someone's not done that. Actually, on camera, it doesn't look as bad as it is, but it's a lot worse in real life. The hood is scratched in several places, as you can see, because it's been painted, and they will all get like this because the paint just scratches off, because you can't spray paint a Hoover. It was a stupid idea, that. But with the newer version, the Enigma Evo, they've rectified that problem, because the plastic actually is the colour. It's not been painted. Like here, for example, all this scratched up and scuffed silver is because it's been sprayed silver. But this grey, that is actually the colour of the plastic. There's no paint on it, so it's not going to scratch. Well, it will, but you won't see it as much. Yeah, but this has got a paper bag in, which is empty. Well, actually, it's got a slight bit of muck in the bottom, hardly anything. Well, you can see it here. This is actually a blue bag door, which was probably left over from the older Pure Powers, so I wouldn't be surprised Hoover reusing parts. And it's been sprayed matte black. Anyway, I'll just put that back on there. This is what, and this machine has never been used. I've just bought it, and it came with a genuine Hoover fleece bag in it. So this machine, in theory, if people are saying the wattage doesn't matter, the motor wattage doesn't matter, oh yeah, that's the other thing, it's brand new and it's already got a scuff. It was like that when it came out of the box. But this is for the people that say motor wattage doesn't matter. That Hoover, which is, we'll have a look, it is, can you see it on there, 750 watts. And this machine, the newer version, is 350 watts. So this has under half, I think. I'm not going to bother doing the maths. I think it has under half the suction. No, under half the motor wattage, I should say. So in theory, this machine, this is for the people that say motor wattage doesn't matter. If motor wattage doesn't matter, this machine, in theory, should have more suction than that machine. Because if you're saying the wattage doesn't matter, that machine has a fleece bag in it, which is completely empty and never been used. The whole machine's never been used. That machine has been used, has a paper bag in it with a bit of muck in. So if motor wattage doesn't matter, that machine will have better suction. It's not exactly true though. Let's put it to the test. And it's not going to be a scientific test. All I'm going to do is I'm going to... Whoops, don't want to scuff that one up because it's not mine. Just going to take... This one is mine, so I'm not as bothered about this one because it's the rubbishy painted version anyway. So if we plug it in, they're both already in tool mode. And switch it on. And I've noticed the suction on that 750 watt isn't as good as the suction on this, which is a 1300 watt pure power Enigma. They're both the same. Right, so what we'll do is we'll get the hose out and we'll give the suction a test. And like I said before, don't say, oh, it does have some influence, or oh, it doesn't have some influence. I'm not saying it's completely down to motor wattage, but I do think that has a significant proportion. I think that's 50% of the reason of the suction motor wattage. I do think half the reason the suction differs is due to the motor wattage. So if we turn the Enigma on, Enigma Pet version. Right, I don't know how well that's going to pick up on camera, but the suction wasn't amazing, but it was sufficient, enough to clean your home with. Well, here's the thing, it depends what you think is enough suction to clean your home with. That machine, that was enough suction to clean your home with. This machine is also enough suction to clean your home with. But it's not as good on that machine, as I'll show you now. So, you know, it depends what you're after as well as the consumer, what suction you want. Obviously, loads of people want the best suction they can get, but with these new motor wattage rules, that's not going to happen. So we'll test this one now, which has the brand new fleece bag in. The whole machine's brand new and never been used. It's only been turned on once by me. And it's significantly quieter as well with the lower motor wattage. And I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but take my word for it. It sounds like a cordless vacuum, or one of the older cordless ones that were quieter, like a cordless handheld. It is so quiet, it's unbelievable. It's the quietest upright I've ever seen. Anyway, so switch it on. Brand new fleece bag, remember. I am not lying to you. You can just see it in there. So let's test the suction. So we'll get the hose out, just as we've done on the Enigma Pet version, and we'll turn the machine on. And I don't know how well that picks up on camera, but I can quite comfortably talk over that. I don't know if you can hear me though. It is so quiet. Now for the suction. The suction on this one is barely enough. Move the cord out of the way. The suction on this one can barely hold its own hose up. So what does that say? And I know you can get different types of motor, and that's not on properly, and things like that. But honestly, come on guys, it's got to have something to do with it. This must prove it. It does. And I'm not saying it's the sole reason that they don't have as much suction, the motor wattage, but it must have a significant proportion. I think that's 50% of the reason. These are both the same model in theory, they've just got different paint jobs. This one's grey, that's silver, and that's matte black, and that's gloss black. They're the same machine with different motors. That's got a paper bag in with muck in. That's got a brand new, never used fleece bag. So what does that say? If that's still got more suction. 750 watts, 350 watts. All I'm saying is it's got to have something to do with it. So for those people that say it has nothing to do with wattage whatsoever, suction power, you're wrong, it does. And that's just proved it. You know, I'm not saying that's the only reason, as I've just said. I can't stress that enough. I'm not saying it's the only reason, so don't comment on all the other ins and outs of all the other reasons how suction power can be affected, because I know that, but that is a significant proportion of it, I think, motor wattage. I do agree to put in a cap on the motor wattage, because I do think it was getting ridiculous. I think the highest ever wattage pure power was 2,400 watts, and the motors, because I used to work in a vacuum shop, I do it for myself now, don't really do it as much anymore, just do it on the side in my workroom, as many of you have seen through the alarm videos. I take them in there and clean them, and then put all the parts in the bath. So when I worked there, I saw quite a few pure powers, and they'd come in under a year old with a motor burnt out, because 2,400 watts was just too much, and they were so loud and they wouldn't last long. So I do agree with putting a cap on the motor wattage, but I don't think 900 watts is a suitable cap. Saying that though, that does have good suction and is 750 watts. It's good, but it's not excellent. I think the maximum should be 1,000 watts or 1,200 watts or something. 2,400 watts was getting a bit ridiculous, but having a cap of 900 watts is too low, I think, because if Hoovers are going to start sucking like that one is, God help us. But that's my very inaccurate, probably biased, as some people will probably comment. You've not done this, you've not done that. I know I've not, but that's what the consumer will see. That has a lot more suction and has a higher wattage. That doesn't have as much and has a lower wattage. And that's what I think as well. So put down in the comments what you think. I personally think having a cap on the motor wattage is a good thing, but the cap is too low. So at the moment, for me, it's a bad thing. They need to higher the maximum allowed wattage before I'll be interested in the EU regs. But anyway, so that is my very inaccurate, probably biased test of two Hoover Enigmas. So thank you for watching this video, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.